I would, tomorrow, if these are still here, whether we want them or not, I would expect to see the same type of cages on staff here in this chamber. Obviously, most of us would like to see these gone. Again, you could look at the video and see what Virginians see. And I think if you go down and look at the other chamber, you're not going to see the cages. You may have slight pieces of plexiglass at the members' discretion. And I think that we should have the same opportunity in this chamber. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Senator from Northern Chesapeake, Senator Spruill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Point of personal privilege.
Senator's the floor.
Mr. President, thank you so much for the opportunity. But what you got to understand is this. Just because we have been vaccinated, but when someone comes to your office, you don't know whether they have been vaccinated or not. Some of us have young children and grandchildren. In my case, I have grandchildren. And they don't understand why Poppy does not hug, handle them. So if anybody want to kill yourself, you then kill yourself. But don't let the rest of us kill ourselves. Look at all the folks in this country that have died by the thousands. And yet, some folks are using it as a political tool to not wear the mask. Those on the other side of the aisle, I love each and every one of you. But when you come and talk to me, if you ain't got your mask, back off, please. Wear your mask. It is safety. What do we have to do in this country in Virginia to convince folks that it is safe to wear the mask? What do we have to do to let people know people are dying from wearing the mask? Madam Secretary, thank you so much for this cage, as they call it. It's not. I feel comfortable right here. And when I talk to my seatmate, I can talk to him through the glass. And when he backs up, I back up and I put my mask on. And I love you, Linwood, but wear your mask. It is safe for all of us. If we are going to do business in Virginia and come in this chamber, you got to have your mask on. If not more for the safety of others. So if you want to die and kill yourself, then you do that. But don't kill everybody in here. It is safe for everybody. Look out for your family. Look out for yourselves. And those who are around you. It's important that we are here to do the business for the Commonwealth of Virginia and its citizens. But in order for us to be here, we got to do it. We already had one member who has passed in this chamber because of that COVID-19. How many more have to die for us to convince the citizens and youth that, hey, that we got to wear the mask and it's safety? Don't let a political tool kill us in this chamber. Thank you so much.
Senator from Henrico, Senator Dunham, rise.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise for point of personal privilege.
Senator's the floor.
I think this is maybe a good way to start the conversation this year because we do have a now endemic with COVID, which is a coronavirus. And in some people, in certain circumstances, it has significant pulmonary effects that are devastating and deadly. And thank God we have a vaccine, but we also have a lot of science now after 18 months. And there is science that evaluates mitigation practices to determine whether or not they actually do protect you from COVID. And I have evidence here, happy to share it with the entire body. These do not. These actually increase your risk of pooling COVID viruses. The studies have been done and we have them because it obstructs ventilation. The number one reliable mitigation procedure and policy is ventilation. And these don't allow it, which creates areas where the virus collects. So if we're going to talk about protecting each other, we should do it with evidence and scientifically. We should have those conversations, but these are not achieving the goal. And this is where we're having problems, because people are linking the emotions of their concerns for their family members and each other and the sorrows at their loss, and they're grasping at straws instead of grasping onto science. And this is not scientific, so there's great evidence to support anybody that wants their cage removed. And in fact, it might be safer for all of us if indeed we did. But certainly we can see that arbitrary cages around, desks, it doesn't even make sense, let alone be defended by science. So I had to add that to the conversation. I didn't know we were going to talk about this today, but I couldn't refrain from sharing that information.
Do any other senators wish to be recognized? Is there any other business to come before